Okay, let us start. Sharing my screen. One moment. Okay, fine. Let us start from aromatic compounds we had done. And here we are. Yeah, any difficulty? IUPAC nomenclature. Yeah. Disubstituted benzene derivatives. Isomerism. Okay. Yes, here I was to explain you with the models. One. Yeah. Any difficulty with the earlier nomenclature? Because now something which starts is totally different. We have completed nomenclature now. Now we are on to different ways by which a reaction, when it takes place, there are reactive intermediates, and these reactive intermediates, they can be stabilized with different um, effects. So those effects, or whether when a compound also is formed, a neutral compound, it is also stabilized. Say we say that benzene has got different stability, we say that electronegativity of elements, all these things are going to be, now we are going to discuss those. So before we discuss those, any difficulty with respect to IUPAC nomenclature? Do you want me to go through something which you feel that, okay, fine, we have not understood? Okay, something like that. Okay, Sankalpa has said no, madam, no doubts. What about Samir and Arya? Suraj, shall we go further? Please just put it into the text box. I'm just getting my models. Arya, yes. Suraj, yes. What does that mean? Yes or no? No doubts or yes doubts? It can mean yes doubts, many doubts. So what is it? What does that mean? We can move further. Good, very good. Chalo. Fine. So now I may require. Have you understood orthometa para positions properly? Because student make mistake over there. when it is disubstituted benzene, I just want to ask you this. This is 1A group. Now, what are these positions called as? 1, 2, and 1, 6. 1, 3. Just put it into the chat box. 1, 3. And I'm putting this as A. This is as B. So you don't have to type all that. 1, 3 and 1, 5. And C is 1, 4. Tell me what this is equal to which position, this is equal to which position, this is equal to which position. A is ortho. Huh. Sankalpa, why you're making mistakes? I feel very uncomfortable when you make. I thought, no, it is 1, 2, and 1, 6. 1, 2, and 1, 6. B is meta and C is para. Good, very good. Fine. Now I'm going to the lesson. Acha, one thing which I was talking to madam, we are going a little slowly, rather very slowly. This is our first chapter going on, and the reason I'm going slowly is it is everything is new to you, and I just let me know you all understand it properly, right? There is no difficulty. You all are comfortable with this way what we are going on, or you feel that we should go a little faster. So what I told madam was that we can have extra lecture. What is you? Okay, we can have extra lecture, and then I can take one Sunday. I can call you all and take at least one chapter. I can finish, or this I can go ahead. Some Sundays. Will you be ready for an extra lecture if I have to take? Then let me see, adjusting my time schedule. I can take, or some other day, other in the week you all are free, because in your colleges now this chapter they may not complete, they will start and complete it very fast, not as we are going. But I want you all to understand, because this is the base for your 12th standard. So if you don't follow this, then it will be very difficult. And now also they are going to reduce some portion in your 11th standard. This, it must have been reduced because your colleges have started late. But I don't want to do that. I want to take completely. So that was what I was telling madam. So you all tell me, is there any other day available when you all are free? That evening we can take, because evening is possible for me. Mornings I have my own lectures. So that way I can do it, or a Sunday we can do it. Maybe Friday, I think. No, but Friday I have to go to college. Now my college will also start. So then that is the reason why evenings, if you all are free, let me know so we can see. But Monday and Fridays, I am engaged here. Means I have 7th standard on Mondays and Fridays I have with you. So that way we can do and complete this when, because now you'll have your unit test or something. So at least one chapter is the chapter I'm free from 3 p.m. to what? When? No, but when you're free, Friday only. You're talking about Friday. Friday, I have to go to my college, dear. Anyways, you all decide and let me know. Don't take the decision fast. We'll have to speak to madam also, and then we'll decide it how to. So you all just let madam know how to go about this. But chalo, let us go further. We will go about this. Isomerism, the phenomena of existence of two or more compounds possessing the same molecular formula is known as isomerism. Such compounds are known as isomers of each other. Two types of isomers are observed in organic compound. That is, you are finding structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. When two or more compounds have same molecular formula but different structural formula, it is called as structural isomerism. On the other hand, when different compounds have same structural formula but different relative arrangement of groups atoms in space, then that is called as that is different and that different spatial arrangement of atoms, and it is called as stereoisomer. In this chapter, we are going to look at some details of only structural isomerism. We had done this much last time. Now, say, what does this mean? Say, for example, I'm just explaining you what is structural isomerism. Okay. अभी देखो, I think I had shown you this. I will be explaining you the same thing with models only. We had taken this example. We will take another example. Tell me the molecular formula of this compound. Arey, you all can unmute your mics. I'm not very comfortable with that writing pattern. You all can talk because we have less number of students also. So please talk to me. By the time you write, I go there and I see it. So unmute yourself and tell me one, two, three. How many carbon atoms? Very good.
5.
Correct. C5. So total, tell me what is the molecular formula? C5H
12.
12. So it belongs to that CnH2n plus 2. Correct. CnH2n plus 2. It is an alkane, straight chain alkane. Now looking over here is, you can see that what is the structural formula, what is the molecular formula of this compound?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
What is the molecular formula of this compound?
It is the same.
It is the same, very correct. So both are having. But what's the difference between the two?
One is isopentane and one is normal pentane.
Yeah, one is isopentane. That is where we are talking. Acha, what is the name of IUPAC name of this compound? Isopentane, okay. Any other name?
2-methyl butane.
Very correct. It is 2-methyl butane. Rather than isopentane, I would prefer the name as 2-methyl butane. Okay. when I'm told to write down the IUPAC nomenclature, not that iso is also accepted, but I would suggest that you put it as 2-methyl butane. That's the reason why I asked you. Okay, fine. So now when you're talking about this, there is a change in this. That is, a branching has come. That is, one of the groups from here has shifted over here. This is called as, there's a change in the structure. So this is the structural isomerism. Fine. Now, let us see. Last time I had shown you this compound, correct? Say for example, here you have a carbon. This is the mirror. Okay. So then you can put this as A, B, D, E, and here same thing, A, E, D, and B. Fine. So the best part is, now I think last time I showed you the wedge dot formula, if you remember it. So the similar ones, and then let us have a look at it. So those are called as structural isomers and stereoisomer. This was an example of what I showed you was in the mirror image, was an example of stereoisomer. Okay, so I'm just Canada. I'll just yeah. Let me just on the camera. Yeah, hello. I'll pin myself. Fine. So I hope you see the structures. What is this structure? Yeah. See, the white ones are, if you remember, I had shown you this, are hydrogens. The black ones are carbons, and the bonds are there, carbon and hydrogen. Fine. So now if you are to look at this, what is this compound? Yes, it is butane. The compound is butane. Very correct. Does everybody, you all can, like normally we write it as straight chain, but this is a tetrahedral structure. Correct, butane. Very correct. So which you all are following it. Okay. Now, what is this? Look at this structure. This structure you have seen. I'm removing it out here, and then I'm showing you this structure. 2-methyl propane, very correct. 2-methyl propane, or as he said that it is isobutane, or 1, 2, 3, 4, same compound. What in this, what I have done was that I had same compound. I had removed one hydrogen from here, and I had attached this over here. That is this is the methyl radical. Sorry, this is the methyl radical. Okay, so this was methyl radical over here, CH3 radical. What I did was I took, see, this is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, and you had carbon number 4. Okay, so let me just do that once again. So there was a major structural change in this. I had to break the structure, and I had to redo the structure to come to a second structure, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this methyl group, what am I doing is I'm removing it out. I removed it out, and then I put in a hydrogen over here. This hydrogen I removed. In its place, what I'm doing is I'm attaching the methyl group. So now you can see that you will have this structure which you just now showed me. Okay, this is one way. Now another example is our hands. Okay, now if look at this, these hands, when say for example, when I'm looking at this, I feel that fine. These now when I do it this way, this is mirror images. Okay, these are the mirroring. The moment I mean they are super, like they are when they are in a mirror, you can put them. But the main the this is that when you just try to take this portion out and try to put it on this, then you can see that it is non superimposable. That is, when I'm putting it in front of the mirror and then I try to put it, bring it down, okay, fine, they are mirror images, exactly. But when I try to take one form from here and then I try to put it on the other form on this, you can see that no, there is no, they are non-superimposable mirror images. They are called as non-superimposable mirror. This is one best example of chirality, or this is such a carbon atom is called as chiral carbon atom. When can this happen? So that is what I wanted to show you over here. But consider that this is now a carbon. I will show it from here only. Yeah. So now these two structures, these are normally you can see that this is, let me take this one example wherein you have, this is tetrahedral carbon. Carbon, this is carbon. And normally when carbon is there, it has got a geometry. So this carbon is now these are different bonds with hydrogen. For example, methane. So normally methane is tetrahedral. Tetrahedral means the bond angle that we'll talk about in the next chapters. And there you can see that bond angles are there, which is 109.28, 109.5 degrees or 109 degrees and 28 minutes. And these are hydrogens. Okay, so this is methane molecule actually is like this, not how you draw as flat. This is a three-dimensional structure of methane. Now, if I have another methane molecule in front of it in a mirror, okay, that there is a mirror, and then now I try to use this and try to superimpose on this. That is, I take this out. This is the mirror over here. I take this out and I try to put it over here. What do you see? That it is getting superimposed. Superimpose means one above the other. So here you are that you are getting it nice superimposition. But the moment I start changing the groups, now what I'm doing is that I'm changing the groups of that and I'm using some other color over here. Okay. I don't have. Okay. Fine. So now imagine this as we're having these two. Here also you have some different groups over here, and this also is some. Uh, I right now don't have. But the moment I try to, I mean, when they are mirror images, so let me just see if this is a mirror. But all the other three groups are different. Ideally, consider if there are four different groups over here. Right now, I don't have. I can get them, and I'll show you. And on those, if you try to superimpose this, I wanted you to understand this as what is superimposability. You will see that when all these four groups are different, there is no superimposability. Like our hand, this structure, this because here what happens is none of these fingers are of same. They are all different ones. So for a carbon to be chiral, this carbon wherein all the four groups are different, it is called as asymmetric carbon atom. And when it combines, when such a molecule is non-superimposable on its mirror image, that part I will show you with different this. I thought that I have some I had some model over here, but it doesn't seem to be in this. Okay, so next time I won't waste time over here right now. Next time I will just get those and then I will try to show you this compound. Okay, so we are talking about stereoisomerism. We are not supposed to be doing it because that is not there in your syllabus. What you are supposed to know is the structural isomerism. That is, there is a difference in the structure. त्यांच्या structures मध्ये म्हणजे branching होऊ शकतं, cyclic होऊ शकतात structures, but molecular formula is the same and you have different structural form. That is, the structural formula is different. Okay, so I'm switching off my camera now. So let us go back to our chapter and why did I close it? Okay, I think I'll unpin myself. Yeah. So now here you are structure. We have seen in the beginning of this chapter that the structural formula describes the sequence in which the constituent atoms of a molecule are bonded and the nature of the bond of between them. When two or more compounds have same molecular formula and different structural formula, they are said to be structural isomers of each other. So if somebody asks you, then you should say that they have same molecular formula but different structural formula. The phenomena is known as structural isomerism. Structural isomerism is further classified as now chain isomerism, position isomerism, functional group isomerism, metamerism, and tautomerism. So all these are different kinds of isomerism. They can ask you one mark questions over here. Okay, what is chain isomerism? Give an example. Position isomerism given. So figure 14.9 explains this all. We'll see that later on. First, we'll continue with the theory part of it. It is just given as a gist. Now, chain isomerism. When two or more compounds have same molecular formula but different parent chain or different carbon skeleton, it is referred to as chain isomerism. Say, for example, here you are saying that this is butane and 2-methyl propane. Just now what I showed you are chain isomers of each other as they have different carbon skeleton and the same molecular formula. If you can see that, you now have seen it that it was N-butane and then the other compound was, or even the, sorry, this has removed, and the other compound also, so the normal pentane and isopentane, they were also the examples of, because the molecular formula, you know that it is CH, I'm putting for butane only. This is normal butane, CH2, CH2, and CH3. And the other structure which was there was CH3, branching was there. Okay, so here you are. So these two are examples of which isomerism? Chain isomerism, because there is a different chain isomerism. Okay, but their molecular formula is same but different structural form. So this is about chain isomerism. Chain isomers as they have different carbon skeleton and same molecular formula. Fine. Next is, I'll come back to this, position isomerism, the phenomena in which different compounds having the same functional group at different position on the parent chain. Okay, then it is called as position isomerism. Means what happens is that, before I read it, I want you to explain this. So let us go back over here. I'm rubbing this out. So first thing what we saw over here was, let me just write it over here. First was, we are talking about structural isomerism. On the sideboard, I'm just writing this so that it remembers every time you see this. So this is called as structural isomerism. We are talking about, yeah, structural isomerism. In short, it means same molecular formula. Always when you're doing it on a rough page, you just keep practicing this same molecular formula but different structural formula, but different structural formula. Okay, now first one was, in that you have various this chain. In this chain isomerism, you can see that you have one example. What happens is that carbon skeleton, this is a straight chain and then you have branching. Example was butane, so C4H10, right? So I'm taking this as one was straight chain, other was now second one is, say for example, you have this compound CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2 and CH3. And now I'm putting in this structure CH3. What is the, unmute yourself and tell me what is the difference in these two structures?
The position of the double bond has changed.
Exactly. And what is a double bond? Double bond is the functional group over here. Am I right? So double bond being the functional group over here, its position has been changed and therefore it is also called as, what can it be called as? Position isomerism. It is a part of structural isomerism, but it is position, that is whose position has been changed. The position of the functional group is changed. Which is the functional group? That is, it is an alkene. So it was, I'm using this color. So this, the position of the double bond was between carbon atom 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I do is carbon atom 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now you can see that the position of the double bond is shifted to the second position. So this is one example of position isomerism. So here we go. Just as I complete, I keep on, I will show example, I'll show it like this. So this is like you have chain isomerism is done, position isomerism, position. Okay, so if I have to show you, I can show you like this, the double bond over here and then a double bond over in between. That is change in the position of the double bond. This is just a shortcut for you to remember. Okay, now next is, so let us read this as the phenomena in which different compounds having the same functional groups at different position on the parent chain is known as position isomerism. For example, but2ene, this was it, and but1ene, that is, there's a change in the position of the double bond, are position isomers of each other as they have the same molecular formula and the same carbon skeleton, but double bonds are located at different positions. Now, next is, now see the difference of position and functional group isomerism. Here there is a change in the position of the functional group, only the position of the functional group. Here you will see that there is a totally different functional group. Please understand. The first one was easy. It was the chain isomerism, that is a different chain. But when you have in position and functional group isomerism, here there's a change in the position of the functional group, and functional group isomerism is somewhere you get a totally different functional group in the molecule. The phenomena in which different compounds with same molecular formula have different functional group is called as functional group isomerism. For example, now let me just show you the third this we were talking about. So in this case, what was it? Functional group isomerism. So in this case, what is it? Say for example, I have this molecule CH3O CH3, okay? And another molecule is this. So this is my second one, this is my first one. Okay, now you tell me, in this case, what is the molecular formula and what has happened over here? What is the problem?
One is ketone and one is alcohol.
Yeah, one is
Ketone.
one is no, but one is alcohol. What you said is correct, but it is not ketone. It is an ether. What is it? Ether. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. ROR. Ether. So you need little practice, Sankalpa. I'm worried that you know, but you may make silly mistake. That worries me a lot. Nothing else. Okay, so that is ether. ROR is ether and other is ROH. Okay, so this, if you are supposed to be looking at this as so what has happened is R, O and R. What you said keto, excuse me. This is a ketone. And here you are wherein you have an alcohol. Fine. So now, what is the difference over here is that I did not want it in terms of technically, you are very correct that you said that one is some other compound. What I wanted to tell you is a totally different functional group. What you said, the meaning of that is the same thing, that you had this functional group. Now, what has happened is a shifting of these groups and you get an alcohol. The molecular formula remains the same. So one is ROR and another is ROH. So here this is the functional group isomerism. Okay. So let me just rub this out also. Then we have to go to the next this. So I will put it as like how I've been putting R. One example. Huh? This is not a specific this ROH. Fine. Now coming to the next one. Are you all following? Is everybody, please tell me, are you all following it? We are
Yes,
talking,
ma'am.
Suraj, Sameer, Arya, we are talking about a different part. We have completed isomerism now. Sorry, IUPAC nomenclature. Now we have come to the different part of this chapter, wherein now we'll be looking into the theoretical aspects. That is how a molecule, whenever there's a reaction, what are the different forces which are coming into picture? What are the different structures? What is a three-dimensional structure, or what happens to a molecule when it undergoes a different reaction? So here now first thing is isomerism. What are isomers? They have same molecular formula but different structural, or they have different arrangement in space also. But that part we are not touching right now. Here we are just talking about structural isomerism. So in under structural isomerism, we have following different types. First we saw was the chain isomerism. Second one was we saw was position isomerism. Third one was the functional group isomerism. Let us go further and check it. Metamerism. Metamerism. Now, in this case, different compounds with same molecular formula and the same functional group, but having unequal distribution of carbon atoms on either side of the functional group, is referred to as metamerism, and isomers are known as metamers. For example, ethoxyethane, okay, and another is methoxypropane, have same molecular formula and the same functional group but have different distribution of carbon atom attached to the ethereal oxygen. These are metamers of each other. Let me take this example. does this mean? That different compounds, it is white, so different compounds with the same molecular formula and same functional group. Understand this. Here we have seen the different functional group, but now it tells us about but having unequal distribution of carbon atoms on either side of the functional group is referred to as metamerism, and the isomers are known as metamers. So let us just have a look at this. Say for example, say I will have to remove this up. I cannot put it as CH3 because it has become in the center. So two groups are attached, CH2 and CH3. This is one example. Now what am I doing? Just see, I am removing one C from here and then I am putting it over here. So CH2, CH2 and CH3. Now tell me whether is the molecular formula same for both these compounds? And if so, what is the
Yes, ma'am.
molecular? Yeah, what is the molecular formula? How many carbon atoms are there over there?
C4H8O.
C4,
H10O, sorry.
H10, because this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and O. Okay, so this is now again ether example. R, O, and R. Now you can see that this is ethoxyethane. This group is called as oxy group, ethoxyethane, alkoxyalkane. And after shifting, now the parent becomes bigger, larger. So this will be methoxypropane. Now, in this case, according to metamerism definition, the functional group is same. You can see that functional group is also ether. Only around this oxygen, the number of carbon atoms, what you see over here and what you see in the second compound are different. Okay, you can see that. Here you have two carbon atoms. Here you have 1 and 3 carbon atom. That is the distribution. Okay, so have you understood? We are talking this about structural isomerism. Same molecular formula but different structural formula in space. That is how they are arranged here. They are differently arranged. Okay. Now coming
Ma'am,
to yes.
then what's the difference between position isomerism and metamerism?
Position isomerism, yes, here you can use that also, position isomerism, but this is for the same function group. Here we have taken one example which can be included into this, but here you can see in this case the functional group changes its position. Now, here your functional group is not changing the position. See this. The functional group RO is still in the center, right? Here you are changing the functional group position. It has come between. I know it's little tricky. Here it is. What you have asked the question, it is very correct. If I look at it this way, say for example, CH2 double bond CH, CH2 आणि CH3 आणि इथे बघायला गेलं इथे वरती आहे ते CH3 and CH double bond CH CH3. आता इकडे असं होऊ शकतं की this functional group has traveled from here to here. Okay. Here, whereas what is the position? We have made the alkyl group travel from here to here. इकडून इकडे म्हणजे हा चालत येऊन इकडे आलाय आणि इथे आम्ही काय केलंय की हा जो ग्रुप आहे त्याला आम्ही इकडे मागे नेल्यासारखं. आर यू फॉलोइंग इट?
Yes, ma'am.
See here you are changing the position. You're picking up the functional group and म्हणजे उचलून तुम्ही त्याला कार्बन ॲटम 1 आणि 2 च्या मध्ये टाकलाय. पण इकडे तुम्ही मिथाइल ग्रुपला शिफ्ट करताय. But this is still ROR. I haven't, well, but then if you're looking at this way, then this is gone between, yeah, this is okay, fine. You can use that also as position isomerism. Yeah, what you're saying is right, that you can shift the functional group also. Very true. I'll get some more of this in med. So meta position isomerism also can be included as metamerism. But I'll just come back with this and I'll give you more information next time. I'm really happy with this. Okay, fine, good. And now let us go to the next one is tautomerism. Now here this you understand is most of the times when you go to higher standard with your chemistry, you will require this. Now actually metamerism, for the higher this, I do not know why they are included in the this. Anyways, let us read this completely. Previously metamerism is not all the structural isomerism of position, chain, position, and you tautomerism also is slightly different. And here was functional. These three are the main ones. Metamerism should not be included much because it doesn't have a specific, as you said, that it can be included into position isomer. Different compounds with the same molecular formula and same functional group but having unequal distribution of carbon atoms on the other side of the function is referred to as metamerism. And the isomers are called as meta. For example, this is what we saw. Have the same molecular formula C and the same functional group but have different distribution of carbon atoms against the E. These are metamers of each other, but they haven't explained why it is also, why it cannot be called as position isomerism. Very correct. I'll just find out more about this and let you know. And if there are better example, I don't think so that this is a very apt example of metamerism. I will just come back to you with this. Now coming to tautomerism, same compound exists as mixture of two or more structurally distinct molecules which are in rapid equilibrium with each other. This phenomenon is referred to as tautomerism. Such interconverting isomers are called as tautomers. In nearly all cases, it is the proton which shifts from one carbon atom to another in the molecule to form its tautomer. Okay. So now here, example is ketoenol tautomerism, or there is also an amine tautomerism. But here we'll talk about ketoenol tautomerism. What does this all mean? I'm just rubbing this out. Okay. Now say for example, look at this structure. What is the functional group for this? What functional
Ketone.
group? Very correct. This is now ketone, what you have said. Now this ketone can exist in the form of enol form. This is called as keto form. Keto form. Okay. Now the proton can be transferred. That is, in certain cases, here this is the actual structure, but in certain cases, when certain ketones, higher ketones, they also exhibit more, they also exist for a longer time in the enol form. Now what is that enol form? You can see that there is this hydrogen from here. Okay, so here this goes and it gets transferred over here and a double bond comes over here. Just see if you all can understand. CH2 double bond C O H and CH2. So what has happened, that it has traveled across this pipe, and then you can see that this is the, in certain reactions, when there is some reaction which it requires the enol form. Why it is called as enol form? there is a double bond, so ene and an alcohol, so all. But you know that when there are two vowels together, we write it as enol. Means, I mean, we remove this and then we put it as one. So this is called as enol, ketoenol, and it is represented like this with a this equilibrium, that is they exist like this. You know this canonical form, this is one arrow. You know there is a different nice article on arrows, that there are so many arrows in chemistry. This is the reaction arrow. This arrow indicates the movement of electrons. So when I have to show the movement of electrons, how they are going, then I can show it this way. Then this is the which shows different resonating structures. We'll come across that. This shows that equilibrium arrow, that is these two can exist in equilibrium at times, but mostly in case of acetone, this example is of acetone, it exists as in the ketone form, which is more stable than keto form, which is more stable than enol form. Okay, so this is one example of ketoenol form. In certain also amine, sometimes you can also see this, but mostly it is shown by these ketoenol. Then you also have this arrow is called as one electron movement. This is called as fish hook arrow. Fish hook arrow. Okay, ह्याला काय म्हणतात, fish hook arrow म्हणतात. ह्याला double barbed arrow, double barbed, barbed, it is called as double barbed arrow. Ha, reaction arrow, this I you know, equilibrium arrow. There are so many different arrows in chemistry. We only make use of very few arrows, but these are the common ones. हे आपल्याला बऱ्याचदा लागणार, आणि त्या arrowला पण महत्व आहे. इट इज नॉट दॅट की काही काढलं आणि काय इज इक्वल टू साइन केली वगैरे असं नाही करता येणार. द arrows are very important during the chemistry reactions. Fine. So now let us go back to our chapter. Fine. Have you understood what is ketoenol tautomerism? Here, some compound exists as mixture of two or more structurally distinct molecules which are in rapid equilibrium. So you can see that this is and this is in equilibrium. This phenomena is referred to as such interconverting isomers are called as tautomers. In nearly all cases, it is a proton. So the proton from here has shifted to the oxygen, but oxygen cannot have more than two valency. The double bond of the pi electron shift in between. Okay, the double bond shifts in between. As it goes to the where the H has come from, there that carbon atom to satisfy the valency. Now, such yes.
So tautomerism only happens in equilibrium reaction, right?
Not in equilibrium. When a molecule exists in its, when the molecule is in equilibrium with its enol form. It is not that it happens in equilibrium reaction. Sometimes a molecule can exist like others. So in case of acetone, 95% of it will be in the keto form, and your say 5%. I do not know exact percentage for that. We have to find out. So that some 2% or 3% also could be existing as the enol form. Okay, you will have to find it out energy stabilization wise that. But there are certain ketones which exist 50% as keto form and 50% as enol form. But that is when they are at the room temperature. Do you understand? It is not any reaction which is happening. Sometimes during a reaction state, when there is any bond formation, or if there is a molecule formation, and if the requirement is there, then the molecule can go from a keto to an enol form. Is it that is the reaction can be explained by taking the enol form of that molecule rather than the keto form. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, व्हेरी गुड. फाईन. अदर्स तुम्हाला कळतंय का हे सगळं? काही मराठीतनं सांगायचं असेल तर मला सांगा, किंवा परत रिपीट करावंसं वाटलं, पण कळतंय ना? कारण मला इकडे संकल्पच प्रश्न विचारतोय. व्हॉट अबाउट सूरज, समीर अँड आर्या? Yes, are you following? Good. So I'm going further now. So, for example, ketoenol tautomerism is very common form of tautomerism. it is found in carbonyl compounds. The ketone compounds, aldehyde compounds are called as here a hydrogen atom shifts reversibly from alpha carbon of the keto to oxygen atom of the enol. Now what is this alpha carbon atom? I didn't explain you. So any carbon atom which is near to the functional group. Say for example, this was our keto, this. So I just want to explain you, this is the functional group. So the carbon atom which is next to the functional group is called as the alpha carbon atom. The next one to this would be beta carbon atom. So here, and the hydrogens which are attached to it are called as alpha hydrogen atoms. Here also there is an alpha carbon atom. So whichever the carbon atom is next to the functional group, then that is called as the alpha कार्बन ॲटम. ऑलवेज बेअर इन माइंड. बऱ्याचदा तुम्हाला असं वापरलं जाईल हे सेंटेन्स की अल्फा कार्बन ॲटम, अल्फा हायड्रोजन ॲटम, देन यू शुड नो विच इज अल्फा. सो एनी ग्रुप, द कार्बन ॲटम विच इज नियर टू द functional group is called as the alpha carbon atom. Okay, and the hydrogens which are attached to it are called as the alpha hydrogen atoms. Okay, so here you are, you can see that this is it. Here they have mentioned this as alpha carbon atom. So let us go further. So here the hydrogen atom shifts reversibly from the alpha carbon atom to of the keto form to oxygen atom of the enol form. So now what were the different types of isomerism? We are looking only at the structural isomerism. Structural isomerism मध्ये आम्ही काय बघितलं? We saw that, we'll go back to that table. That would be more this necessary. Let us go back. There two or more compounds with same molecular formula. Structural isomerism, two or more compounds with same molecular formula but different structural formula. Stereoisomerism, two or more compounds with same structural formula but different arrangement, spatial arrangement of groups. That is, here you are not breaking anything, or I mean you're not converting it into this. The molecule can exist in two different, that is two or more compounds with same structural format, different arrangement in space. That is, one molecule will exist in one arrangement, the other will be be arranged in a different, and it is the mirror image of that. Okay. Now coming to the, so here this part you don't have to study it right now. This you study it in the higher standard, that is in the 12th standard most probably. Here also you have further geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism into stereoisomerism. That cis and transform will be there afterwards. When it comes, I will explain you what is cis and what is trans again with the model. Now coming to chain isomerism, here different carbon skeleton. We saw this as example. I wanted some red color. Anyway. Yeah. So here we saw this. Okay, and here we saw this. This is chain iso. Now different position of the same functional group on this carbon, different. So here you have the functional group is the same on the, that is here it is in the center and here it is at the starting. Functional group iso, that is here totally different functional group. You had ROR and you have ROH. Okay, this was the example. And here again, this, as we have, I'm not very confident. The reason was that it means the same thing, that here you have R1 and R2, and say for example O, R1 and R2. Now if you shift this, so here you have R1 and O, and here you will get R1, R2 and R3, which means actually I have just shifted this. I have kept the position over here, and here it means that I have shifted the position of the functional group, but ultimately it means the same thing if you look at it in a proper critical way. Now coming to this tautomerism. Tautomerism, you know that the shifting of the alpha hydrogen atom to give you different keto and enol compounds. Okay, so this was about the different isones. Here you can be asked as a, now it will not be online examination. The colleges are starting, they can ask you descriptive questions, and this descriptive questions you should be, these can be asked as 1 mark questions. Okay, Now, theoretical basis of organic reactions. Here now you, so any reaction takes place. So what kind happens? That is, uh, what are the different ways by which intermediates are formed? How bond breaking takes place? How bond formation takes place? Whether it is a single step reaction, multi-step reaction, or that needs to be looked into. Okay, let me just give me 2 3 minutes. I'll just start with this. So all the organic molecules primarily contain various types of covalent bonds between the constituent atoms. So you know that, or ionic compounds. Now there is a difference between organic and your inorganic, or organic compounds are formed by mutual sharing of electrons, which you, and you get a covalent bond. That is your, whereas your ionic compounds are formed by electrostatic force of attraction. So here this is during the organic reaction, molecules of the reactant undergo change in their structure. So there is a covalent bond, and these covalent bonds during the reaction, either bond breaking, bond formation takes place. A covalent bond at a carbon atom in the reaction reactant is broken and a new covalent bond is formed at it, giving rise to the product. So by like breaking of the bond and formation of new compound takes place by new bond formation. Often this change is brought about by means of another reactant. So you can have some other reactant which you add it into the flask, you cook it. म्हणजे आपण एखाद्या फ्लास्क मध्ये ते घालतो आणि त्यांची रिॲक्शन करतो, त्यावेळेला बॉन्ड्स तुटतात आणि नवीन बॉन्ड्स फॉर्म होतात, आणि अशा वेळेला त्याच्यामध्ये आता काय काय गमती गमती होतात ते बघायला पाहिजे, की सिंगल स्टेप एका स्टेपमध्ये रिॲक्शन होते का, एकदा तुटल्यानंतर सुद्धा त्या ती जी स्पीशीज आहे किंवा तो कार्बन हे आहे तो दॅट इज अ चार्ज स्पीशीज, हाऊ लॉंग दॅट चार्ज स्पीशीज विल स्टे इन द रिॲक्शन मास. So the reactant that provides carbon to the new bond is called as a substrate. So the reaction that is the base compound what you will be adding is called as a substrate. The other reactant which brings about this change is called as a reagent. So when I start my reaction, म्हणजे माझी reaction मी सुरू करते त्यावेळेला मला एखादा I have to take an ketone and I have to convert it into an aldehyde. सो माझा एक कीटोन्स आहे त्याचं मला काय कन्वर्ट करायचं आहे, RCHO करायचं असेल तर त्या दिस इज माय सबस्ट्रेट. आणि when I use something else over here on the arrow to make it to this as the product, then this is called as a reagent. Here I'll be using an reagent to convert my substrate. What is this? This is my substrate to the reagent. Using the reagent, I'll convert it into the product. Okay. So the other reactant which brings about this change is called as a reagent. In case both the reactants provide the carbon atoms to both reactants provide carbon atoms to a new bond, the reactant considered is called as a substrate. That is, here both are taking part in the reaction, the reagent as well as the substrate, and they are rearranging to form a new bond. Okay. In case, sorry, I read it incorrectly. In case both the reactants provide carbon atoms to the new bond, the reactant considered is called as a substrate. Apart from the product of interest, some other products are formed in a reaction. These are called as byproducts. So for example, A is my substrate. I'm adding B as the reagent, and what I'm getting is C as my product, and D could be my byproduct, which I'm not interested in. Say for example, here methane is the substrate. I'm adding a reagent and I want this as my product. And here bond breaking is taking place. Here also bond breaking is taking place, and you are finally getting a new product. And HCl is not required by me, but it is formed in the reaction. त्याला byproduct म्हटलं जातं. Is it clear? Have you understood this? Shall we stop here? We can start, because then now from here onwards, all different. Hello, are you there? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Good. So now, Suraj, fine. So next we'll be starting with respect to the chapter is very long. It's been extended for a long time, and see it now. Here, the first one was IUPAC nomenclature. We have completed that in that. chapter. This is done. I'm just taking a review of it so that तुम्हाला कन्फ्युजन होणार नाही की आम्ही काय काय केलंय म्हणून. चॅप्टर आपला चाललाय मग पुढे गेल्यानंतर मागचं विसरायला नको. Then we have done is what? Isomerism. Today we did completed was isomerism. Okay. And now we are going to see different theoretical aspect, that is when a reaction, bond breaking and bond formation takes place. In that case, what are the various things happening in the reaction vessel. म्हणजे आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी जेव्हा एखादी रिॲक्शन या फ्लास्क मध्ये टाकते, हा माझा फ्लास्क आहे, ह्या फ्लास्क मध्ये मी ए प्लस बी टाकलंय टू फॉर्म सी प्लस डी. सो जेव्हा फॉर्मेशन होतं तर कसं होतं, एचं काय होतं, बी बरोबर रिॲक्शन होताना काय होतं, किती वेळ लागतो, किती स्पीशीज मध्ये फॉर्म होतात, मग त्याचे इफेक्ट्स काय आहेत, ऑल दिस विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट इन द नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ दिस चॅप्टर. Is it clear? So thank you for your time. I think we have exceeded our time, but still I just wanted to talk about it so that it will be the base for our next reaction. Okay, so good night and take care.